Tony, when you watch Ezekiel Elliott now, you as a running backs coach, what do you see that stands out about him more than anything else? What sets him apart?
Well, I've said this before. I think that his complete game, his ability, what he does when the ball's not in his hands. If you watch him go and block on the perimeter, you watch him pass protect. He's a force to be reckoned with out there too. And I think the thing that stands out the most, like I said, is his entire game is playing at a high level.
Was Saturday as big a 5 carries in a row, 7 carries out of 11 plays on that one drive? Was that just a challenge to him too? I mean, how did you approach that from the standpoint of putting the team kind of on your back?
Well, it wasn't that wasn't the.
I know.
That wasn't the deal. Say, hey, let's put it on your back. I mean,
right.
That was the flow of what we were doing. And again, he's a highly competitive guy.
Did he ask for that?
No, he's always asking for the ball. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's always asking for it. But I think the same could be said true for the TD and Taylor Decker and offensive line. This is what your job is. This is what we call go execute the plays that we call. And he does that. And he is he's a highly competitive player, highly competitive individual. So to give him the ball that many times it's not like we're asking him to do something out of the norm. It's something he'd want to do.
Third row right here, Andy.
Coach, as Zeke continues his climb up the record books, have you noticed a difference in attitude as far as him running the football? And has that kind of changed your guys' mentality as far as the game?
No, Zeke's pretty consistent, and I think that's the one thing that really makes him special. I think if you were to go through the course of time, and if you were to look at players, if you want to use the term great players, there's a consistency about them. It's not the ebb and flows and highs and lows and on the roller coaster, if you will. He's a consistent guy, and whether it's game 1 against Virginia Tech to game 10, he's been pretty consistent in how his approach has been. But again, that's what makes him different than a lot of people. There aren't the highs and the lows. When he comes to play, no matter who it is and where it's at.
Front row left, Doug.
Tony, I think Zeke's average, 22 carries per game. Workload for any running back, but specifically with him, how much do you monitor that? How much does that impact the back through the course of the season? And do you like where you're at with Zeke's workload going into these last couple games here?
Yeah, knock on wood is a good question. He's still probably playing a few more reps than I would like him to play, and that's on me. That's strictly on me, not Coach Meyer or Ed or anybody else. It's hard to pull him out of a game though. When you're looking at a guy that I'm biased, mind you, when you're looking at a guy that I believe is the best player in the country, it's hard for me to pull him out because I'm like, God, keep him in the game, because he has to be accounted for wherever he's at. What you do, we have to be cognizant of what's going on with him as far as his body and his health, and particularly throughout the body of practices and throughout the course of the week. Have to be very cognizant of how we're using him, how much I'm running him. But he's pretty good about telling me kind of how he feels, especially throughout the week, how he's feeling and things of that nature. So I feel you have to back some things off of him and limit some things that he does throughout the course of the week. We do. But yeah, that's definitely something we got to continue to keep a hold on.
And I know you've called it Tote Nation since the start, right? Since you got here.
I called it.
Isn't Tote Nation? Isn't that?
The guys came up with that one.
Yeah. What is Tote Nation?
Carrying the ball, carrying the football, Ohio State Nation, Buckeye Nation. So that's something that I think actually our intern Sean Buckley was talking about it to our players, and they got these wristbands made up that we wear. And, that's something I actually think Mike Weber came up with it, and that guys kind of took to it, and that's something they've kind of taken to. So I'll let them run with it.